Welcome back, coin master lovers and treasure hunters from around the world. Today, you're about to uncover the mind-blowing story behind one of America's most iconic and surprisingly valuable coins, the 1980 Roosevelt dime. Yes, that tiny little 10-cent piece that you might have in your pocket right now could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $58,000. You heard that right. $58,000 for just one dime. Sounds impossible? Well, let's dive deep into the fascinating tale, rich history, hidden features, and shocking value of the 1980 Roosevelt one dime. This video will take you on a journey through time, from its origins to the sizzling hot coin collecting market of today. Let's start with a trip back to the year 1980. The United States was going through a transformative period. It was the dawn of a new decade. Technology was growing, inflation was on the rise, and the American people were looking for stability in uncertain times. One figure that continued to represent strength and trust during these years was none other than President Franklin D. Roosevelt. He had guided America through the Great Depression and World War II. To honor his legacy, his profile was immortalized on the 10-cent coin, also known as the Roosevelt dime, starting in 1946, the year after his death. Fast forward to 1980, the United States Mint in Denver was busy striking millions of Roosevelt dimes to keep up with the nation's coin circulation needs. But among these millions, something fascinating happened. Some coins were struck with extraordinary sharpness, clean lines, flawless surfaces, and almost supernatural detail. Others had unusual minting errors that collectors would later go crazy for. Some were preserved in absolutely perfect condition, untouched by circulation, giving them an ultra-rare grade of perfection that only a few coins on Earth ever achieve. These are the dimes that have rocked the numismatic world and turned heads at auctions and coin shows alike. The 1980 Roosevelt dime features the bold portrait of FDR on the obverse, facing left. The words "Liberty" and "I and God We Trust" accompany his image, standing as a reminder of the values this coin represents. The date 1980 is prominently featured below, and just to the right of the torch-bearing president's neck, you'll see the capital letter D, signifying that this coin was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the most productive mints in the United States. On the reverse side, you'll find the traditional design of a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch representing liberty, peace, and strength. The phrases "United States of America" and "one dime" proudly circle the edge of the reverse. Now, let's talk rarity. You might be thinking, wait a minute, the Mint produced hundreds of millions of these coins in 1980, so how could any of them be rare? That's where the magic lies. Out of the over 735 million 1980 Roosevelt dimes that were struck, only a tiny handful have survived in truly exceptional condition. Most of these dimes have been through vending machines, pockets, purses, drive-thrus, and piggy banks. They'd been scratched, nicked, and worn down by decades of circulation. But those rare few that remained untouched, stored away in mint sets, forgotten in sealed rolls, or discovered in pristine condition, are worth far more than 10 cents. Some of these coins have received the highest possible grades from professional grading services like PCGS and NGC, which certify and authenticate coins for collectors and investors. One particularly stunning 1980 Roosevelt dime, graded at the ultra-rare mint state 68 full bands, was once sold for an eye-watering $58,000 at auction. That's not a typo. A dime worth more than a luxury car, a college education, or even a house in some places. Why such a high price? Because coins with this level of perfection are incredibly difficult to find. The full bands designation means the horizontal lines on the torch on the reverse are fully struck and sharply defined, a hallmark of superb quality. Combine that with a near-flawless surface, brilliant luster, and no visible marks under magnification, and you've got a once-in-a-lifetime coin. But the story doesn't stop there. The 1980 dime is also known for its error varieties, which have added even more fuel to the fire in the collector community. Some coins from this year have been discovered with misaligned dies, off-center strikes, double dies, and even planchet errors. These minting anomalies are incredibly valuable to error coin collectors, who are willing to pay top dollar to get their hands on one. One well-documented example includes a 1980 dime struck on a penny planchet, a copper blank, which gives the dime a reddish hue and a lower weight. That coin fetched thousands of dollars at a collector's convention. These mistakes, once considered undesirable, are now seen as golden tickets in the world of numismatics. What's even more exciting is the possibility that you, yes you, might have one of these gems lying around in a jar, drawer, or old wallet. Most people overlook dimes because they're small, common, and often undervalued. But the truth is, you could be sitting on a gold mine and not even know it. All it takes is a keen eye, a magnifying glass, and a little patience. Look for a sharp strike, full torch bands, brilliant luster, and of course, minimal to no scratches or blemishes. If you think your coin fits the bill, get it graded by a reputable service. It could be worth thousands, or even tens of thousands. Collectors around the world are constantly searching for the next big discovery, and with modern tools, social media, and global auctions, the market for rare coins has never been hotter. A coin that used to be worth 10 cents could now buy you a luxury vacation, a vintage car, or a year's salary. Some collectors specialize entirely in Roosevelt dimes, building complete sets with every year, mint mark, and era variety. For them, the 1980 D in high grade is a crown jewel, a piece that completes the puzzle and elevates the collection's total value exponentially. The 1980 D Roosevelt dime is not just a coin, it's a piece of living history. It represents a time of change in America, the enduring legacy of a president who changed the world, and the hidden wealth that might be resting in your very own hands. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual hobbyist, the 1980 D dime teaches us one unforgettable lesson: always look closer, because sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest value. So don't throw away your change. Don't overlook that tiny silver coin with Roosevelt's face on it. Examine it. Treasure it. Because with a little luck and a lot of attention to detail, that one dime could be worth a fortune. And who knows, the next $58,000 dime might be hiding in plain sight, waiting for you to discover it. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next coin adventure. And remember, in the world of coins, even a dime can change your life. Keep hunting, keep collecting, and always stay curious. Today, you're about to uncover the fascinating and extraordinary story of a United States coin that might look ordinary to the untrained eye, but is anything but ordinary once you learn its secrets. That coin is none other than the 1967 Liberty Roosevelt dime. You might think, it's just 10 cents, but by the end of this video, you'll realize that this tiny silver-colored coin could be worth an astonishing $58,000, or even more depending on its rarity, condition, and the eyes of collectors willing to pay top dollar. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the hidden world of the 1967 Roosevelt dime, a coin that is quietly turning heads in the coin collecting world and sending shockwaves through the numismatic market. The Roosevelt dime has a long and proud legacy in American coinage. It was first introduced in 1946, just 1 year after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, to honor his legacy and contributions to the country, particularly his fight against polio and his leadership during World War II. The dime was chosen as the coin to carry his image due to his close connection with the March of Dimes, a campaign started to raise funds for polio research and treatment. The image of Roosevelt on the obverse, or front, of the coin is a solemn reminder of a leader who guided the nation through some of its darkest hours. The coin's reverse side features a torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength, perfectly embodying the American spirit. Now fast forward to the year 1967. This year stands out in the history of American coinage because it was a time of change and experimentation by the U.S. Mint. The Coinage Act of 1965 had just come into effect 2 years earlier, removing silver from circulating dimes and quarters due to rising silver prices and a nationwide coin shortage. So the 1967 Roosevelt dime, though it might appear silver, is actually composed of a copper nickel clad with no silver content, which marked a new era in coin production. Because of this, many collectors overlook these post-1964 clad dimes, thinking they hold no significant value. But as you'll soon learn, that would be a costly mistake. One of the most interesting things about the 1967 Roosevelt dime is that it was minted during a period when the United States Mint temporarily stopped putting mint marks on coins to discourage coin hoarding. That's right, there is no small d, p, or s on the coin to indicate where it was minted. This lack of a mint mark may seem like a small detail, but for collectors, it adds a layer of intrigue and makes authentication a bit trickier, especially when identifying rare era coins or varieties from this year. And believe me, There are some incredibly rare varieties of the 1967 Roosevelt dime that can turn your humble dime into a true jackpot point. One of the main reasons a 1967 dime can reach such an eye-popping value of $58,000 is due to errors. These minting errors can include things like double dies, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, and full bands. One of the most sought-after features in a Roosevelt dime is what collectors call full torch, or full bands. This means that the horizontal bands on the torch on the reverse of the coin are fully separated and clearly visible. These details are very hard to preserve due to the striking process and die wear, so when a coin has sharply defined full torch bands, it becomes a rarity, especially from 1967. A dime from that year with full bands in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially if it's graded MS68 or higher by a professional grading service like PCGS or NG, can fetch tens of thousands of dollars on the auction block. But wait, it gets even more exciting. There have been reports of extremely rare transitional errors from this period, where coins may have been struck on leftover silver planchets, or even foreign coin blanks by mistake. While these types of errors are incredibly rare, their existence means that collectors are constantly hunting through rolls of dimes, hoping to strike it rich. Just imagine finding a 1967 Roosevelt dime that was mistakenly struck on a silver planchet instead of the standard copper-nickel clad. That kind of error could easily push the value well above $58,000, especially if certified by a reputable coin grading agency. Now let's talk about condition. The majority of 1967 dimes you find in circulation today are going to be heavily worn, scratched, or tarnished, which significantly decreases their value. But the ones that are worth big money are those that have been preserved in near-perfect condition since the day they left the mint. These coins are referred to as mint state, and are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A 1967 Roosevelt dime graded MS60 is decent, but a dime graded MS67, MS68, or unbelievably MS69 is a whole other level of rarity. Coins at that level are typically found only in original mint sets, sealed and untouched for decades. In one high-profile case, a 1967 Roosevelt dime graded MS68 with full bands sold at auction for over $58,000, making it one of the most valuable clad dimes ever sold. Collectors and dealers alike are now scouring coin shops, estate sales, and even pocket change looking for these gems. The growing popularity of YouTube, TikTok, and online coin communities has only fueled this craze. Videos and posts showing people who found rare coins worth thousands in pocket change have gone viral, sparking a nationwide treasure hunt. Suddenly, everyone wants to know what their dimes are worth. And with good reason. Finding a high-grade, rare 1967 dime could mean the difference between 10 cents and tens of thousands of dollars. So how can you tell if your 1967 Roosevelt dime is one of the rare and valuable ones? Start by looking closely at the details. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect the torch on the reverse. Are the bands clearly defined? Are there any strange markings or doubling in the letters or numbers? Is the coin off-center or struck strangely? If you see anything unusual, don't spend it. Instead, set it aside and consider sending it in for professional grading. Certification by PCGS or NGC not only confirms authenticity and quality but also boosts the coin's value dramatically when it comes time to sell. Now, let's talk market value. While the average 1967 dime in circulated condition may only be worth face value or a few cents over that, coins in mint state can fetch between $10 and $500 depending on their condition and features. But here's the kicker: those rare dimes with full bands and MS68 grades or higher, especially if they're certified with an error or struck on a unique planchet, can reach values as high as $58,000 and beyond. And with growing interest from international collectors and online marketplaces like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections, the demand for high-grade 1967 dimes is only increasing. The Roosevelt dime might not be made of silver anymore, but its value in history and in the eyes of collectors is shining brighter than ever. The 1967 Liberty Roosevelt dime is more than just a coin, it's a piece of history, a collectible treasure, and potentially a hidden fortune sitting right under your nose. So the next time you get change from a store or crack open a piggy bank, pay extra attention to your dimes. One small, worn coin could be the key to a life-changing payday. And that's the story of the 1967 Roosevelt dime, how a little piece of clad metal from over half a century ago could secretly be worth $58,000 or more today. Keep hunting, keep collecting, and who knows? Maybe the next rare and valuable dime is already in your pocket. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more incredible coin stories, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the next discovery. This is your ultimate coin guide signing off. Happy collecting, and may your change always bring you treasure. Today, this isn't just any ordinary coin. This is the 1984 P. Roosevelt dime, a coin that has shocked collectors, dealers, and historians alike with its hidden potential and skyrocketing value in today's coin market. The story of this dime begins in the heart of American coinage history. In 1984, the United States Mint struck millions of Roosevelt dimes bearing the Philadelphia P mint mark. At face value, it was just another 10-cent piece used for everyday transactions, vending machines, parking meters, bubble gum, and maybe even school lunches. But over time, this seemingly ordinary coin began to reveal extraordinary secrets. Its legacy starts not only in its production but also in its design, condition, rarity, and the errors that slipped through the minting process unnoticed. These key factors transformed it from spare change into a hidden treasure. The Roosevelt dime has been an essential part of American currency since 1946, created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt following his death. Roosevelt's image replaced the Mercury dime to commemorate his contribution to the nation, especially his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and his fight against polio. His portrait, facing left, along with the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the year of minting, became a permanent part of the dime's identity. On the reverse side, a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch symbolizes liberty, peace, and strength, foundational values of the United States of America. But in 1984, something unexpected happened. While millions of dimes were minted for circulation, a few rare specimens showed striking errors, flawless mint states, or unique die characteristics that set them apart. Over time, collectors began to notice that high-grade 1984 P. Roosevelt dimes, especially those graded MS-68 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC, were becoming nearly impossible to find. The few that surfaced in top condition fetched astronomical prices at auctions and private sales, with one reported sale touching the jaw-dropping figure of $58,000. Why such a high price for a 10-cent coin, you ask? It's all about rarity, condition, and demand. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, are always on the hunt for coins that are not only old but also preserved in mint or near-mint condition. The 1984 P. Roosevelt dime, due to the minting technology of the time and the mass production wear and tear, rarely survived in flawless condition. The few that did were often tucked away accidentally in coin rolls, proof sets, or collections and remained untouched for decades. When these high-grade examples reappeared on the market, they commanded a premium. There's also the matter of mint errors. Some 1984 P dimes are known to have off-center strikes, missing clad layers, double dies, and even full band features on the torch design that are incredibly difficult to find. The full band designation is especially important to collectors. It means that the horizontal bands on the torch are completely and sharply struck, a rarity for coins minted at the time. A 1984 P. Roosevelt dime with full bands in high mint state could drastically increase in value. Today, coin grading plays a vital role in determining the worth of your dime. Professional grading companies evaluate coins based on their luster, strike, surface preservation, and eye appeal. Coins graded as MS-65, MS-67, and especially MS-68 are the most sought after. The difference between a coin worth 10 cents and one worth tens of thousands of dollars could be a tiny scratch or a faint blemish. This is why collectors and investors send their coins to be certified and encapsulated by these grading institutions, turning a once common dime into a certified piece of valuable American heritage. But what does all this mean for you? If you're watching this video and you have a jar of coins at home or some old pocket change saved from your childhood, go check it. Look closely at every dime with a 1984 date and a PE mint mark. Examine the surfaces. Look for clear, strong details. You might just strike gold, or in this case, silver nickel treasure. You don't need a metal detector or a treasure map. All you need is knowledge, attention to detail, and a little luck. Now let's talk about market trends. The value of collectible coins has surged in recent years. With more people entering the coin collecting hobby, especially thanks to social media and YouTube, Rare coins like the 1984 P. Roosevelt dime are seeing increased demand. Collectors are willing to pay big bucks for coins in pristine condition because they're not just buying a coin, they're buying history, rarity, and legacy. In some cases, the buyer is a serious investor looking to protect wealth and tangible assets, while in others, it's a collector seeking to complete a set of mint-state dimes from each year. In coin shows, online auctions, and private deals, stories have emerged of ordinary people discovering these dimes and selling them for thousands. One recent example involved a collector who found a 1984 P. Roosevelt dime in near-perfect MS-68 condition stored away in a bank roll from the 1980s. That single coin, after being graded by PCGS, sold for nearly $58,000, shocking even experienced dealers. The excitement generated by such discoveries has fueled a modern-day gold rush, with people across the country combing through their change for that one perfect dime. Even if your coin isn't worth tens of thousands, a lower mint state 1984 P. Roosevelt dime can still fetch anywhere between $50 to $500 or more, depending on its condition and eye appeal. That's a huge return on a 10-cent investment. And if your coin has a recognized mint error, the value can go even higher. So, whether you're a seasoned numismatist, a curious beginner, or just someone cleaning out an old drawer, don't overlook the power of the Roosevelt dime. Every coin has a story, and some of those stories are worth thousands, sometimes even $58,000. The next time you see that tiny coin with Roosevelt's face, the words, Liberty, and In God We Trust, and the year 1984, take a closer look. You might be holding one of the rarest, most valuable dimes in circulation. In a world where digital transactions are taking over and coins are slowly disappearing from daily use, holding on to a rare piece like the 1984 P. Roosevelt dime is like owning a piece of American history frozen in time. It's a link to the past, a potential treasure in the present, and an investment for the future. Don't miss your JavaScript, Void 0, chance to discover one. Check your change, search your roles, and treasure JavaScript, Void 0, your coins. You never know, the next time you reach into your pocket, you could pull out a fortune disguised as a simple dime.